Hello and welcome to another game of Warhammer Fantasy Battles. This game features my Bretonnian army versus a High Elf army owned by my friend and brother-in-law. Uh, as I may have pointed out on a previous battle report, we both do a fair bit of proxying. I'm getting much better, gradually building my Bretonnian army, but still a little ways to go, so I'll try my best to point things out as I go along here. Here's an overview of the game. Let's start with deployment, and we'll be looking over at the High Elf side. On the far left, and this is my left to my right as I'm facing the bad guys here. In the front row, that is the Illyrian Reavers, which are the fast cav. Right behind them are the Silver Helms. Now, the Silver Helms are what they're supposed to be, but the fast cav there are portrayed by some very old Battle Masters miniatures, which I think are old school Chaos Knights. Then we have a Bolt Thrower, a group of about 15 Lothran Sea Guard. Joining them is a level 2 wizard who took the lore of Metal. Then we have a straight line of some plain old archers. They don't have a command group, but he didn't have enough models, so he had to put in a blank base and a standard bearer, so just ignore that. Right behind some water, we have another Bolt Thrower. We have another unit of mounted guys, but these are the Dragon Princes, and most of them are what they're supposed to be, but we got one more of those proxied models on there. And then on the far right of that unit, our right, is another level 2 sorcerer, maybe level 1, I don't remember, who took the lore of the High Elf lore. Then we have some more Illyrian Reavers, and the dragon you see there is a Star Dragon, top of the line, ridden by a Lord level character. Even though it's painted red like the Fire Dragon, because that's how he uses it most of the time, he really came out of the blue and surprised me and took a Star Dragon. First time I've ever seen that. Then on the far right, there's two models. One has an old Greater Demon model, the other one's empty, but those are both eagles. And then in the woods on the far right is two units of Shadow Warriors. And you may also notice that there's a tree laying right in front of the Illyrian Reavers. Just ignore that. That's supposed to be in the woods, and we'll put it back in just a few seconds here. On my side of the board, this is my right to my left. So this is my opponent's point of view. A big block of Knights Errant with Errantry Banner. We've got behind the table, we've got about 13 Peasant Bowmen. Got the Trebuchet on a hill. Then we have the mix of gray and yellow. Those are Grail Knights. And in the front middle of the Grail Knights, you can see a model that's got a rock down by his feet. That is my Lord. And he's kitted up with the reroll wounds, reroll hits combo. In the background on the far right, there's a unit of 5 Knights of the Realm, because I have to take those. In the woods, there's 10, 12 skirmishing bowmen, not exactly sure how many. Right behind them, but not joining them, is a level 1 damsel. Then I got my fast cav, big block of men-at-arms, questing knights with my BSB in the front middle of the questing knights. Next unit over is the Grail Relique. I am going to try to zoom in on that later, because I did build a new centerpiece on my Grail Relique. Got some more Peasant Bowmen. Behind them, the model that's riding a big flying cow, that is a paladin mounted on a Pegasus, but I only own 3 Pegasus. So yeah, he's riding a Chaos Dwarf flying bull centaur. Just a paladin with the Killing Blow special ability. And then on the far right, some Pegasus Knights. So, there's a picture of the close-up of the Grail Relique, just trying to show you what it looks like. It's supposed to be a guy standing on like a cart, preaching to them the benefits of serving the Lady of the Lake. He's got a big book out in front of him. He's pointing at him with a big finger. It's a conversion I'm working on. There's a slightly closer picture of him screaming at them. Alrighty, let's begin. So, I was allowed the opportunity to go first by my opponent in this case. So the Pegasus Knights fly out, get right in front of that hill, making sure they stay out of line of sight of the Illyrian Reavers and out of the line of sight of the big giant crossbow. Other than that, everything's just coming forward a little bit, not too awfully much. No point being real aggressive here. Sending my paladin with killing blow over to the far right to eventually, hopefully, get in combat with the dragon. Fast cav going forward just a little bit to see what they can do. On the far right, I own a laser level, which I'm showing to mark where the table edge is because I had to mark it with pencil. This table is just a little too long. Actually get Mistress of the Marsh off, if you can believe it. Get it off on the Dragon Princess. That's what that little shield is representing. Take some shots at the giant crossbow with my peasant bowman and kill one of them. So that was good. Now in the rules it says that if you start with fewer than 3 crewmen, the whole every other turn limiting your shots thing doesn't apply. But we didn't find that out till after this game, so my apologies to my opponent for some accidental cheating there. Apparently I also killed one archer, apparently. Alright, ready for his turn. The dragon comes forward as shown here. The shadow warriors come forward a little bit too. The eagle that doesn't have a model, that's just an empty base, you can see that in the bottom right hand corner, and the other eagle flies out into the open. I think what he's trying to do here is force me into a situation where I either have to charge the shadow warriors and get stuck in the woods, or charge the dragon, take it head on, or charge the eagle and go off the board with my knights errant. On the left hand side, he's just moving up. He's putting his Illyrian Reavers in a position where the Pegasus Knights either have to charge something or fly away next turn, or else they will get charged. His giant crossbow is able to fire a shot off and hits one Grail Knight, takes him down. The second one makes his ward save, so that was nice. Shoots down a single fast cav guy. The fast cav have javelins, and those Lothran Seaguard over on the right have bows. So one of them, I don't remember which one, shoots the Pegasus Knights and puts one wound on. On to the beginning of my turn, the Bretonnian turn. Here I decide to charge the eagle. There was a lot of thinking that went into this decision because we actually took a break between this round and the previous round. I almost charged the dragon because it would have certainly been in character with Knights Errant taking on a big scary monster like that. But I decided probably the better thing to do would be to charge the eagle and go off the board. Admittedly, debatable decision, but that's what I went with. On the other side of the board, you can see that the Pegasus Knights charged the Illyrian Reavers up on top of the hill, just a few inches in front of them. Got to get into combat with someone, and decided that was probably the best route to go. We'll see how that turns out a little bit later. Elsewhere in my move, you can see the middle is just still creeping up a little bit, getting ready to do something, just not quite ready yet. On the other side of the board, during remaining moves, you can see that my blue knights there, who are Knights of the Realm, move forward as a bait for the Dragon Princes. If the Dragon Princes don't charge them, that's fine. It means they're staying out of combat one more turn. If they do, I'll flee. They'll probably fail their charge and be set up with a nice counter charge from the Grail Knights. At least that's the hope. In my shooting phase, I take the trebuchet, and something inspires me to direct it at the Dragon Princes instead of the dragon. So I do so. My guess was just a little short. I had 3 partials. One of the 3 partials was the champion. That particular partial did hit, the other 2 did not. The champion rolls a 1 for his Lookout Sir roll, and he dies from the strength 5 hit, no armor save that it causes. The interesting thing was, I found out later, that was a really big deal because the champion of that unit had some magic item that gave the entire unit ward saves. So by killing the champion, that ends up mattering a lot later in the game. So go trebuchet. I'm not usually very accurate, but that time I had something good happen. In regular shooting, take down 2 Lothran Seaguard, which is great because now they don't have a rank bonus. Took 2 off that last row. Well, they only have 1 rank bonus as opposed to 2 is what I should say. So this is the combat with the eagle. The entire block of 7 Knights of the Realm, including a champion and all their horse attacks, put 2 wounds on the eagle. How pathetic is that? And as if that wasn't bad enough, the eagle kills one of the knights. Oh, they should be ashamed. They're gonna have to be on their errantry mission much longer.